let's talk about 5 ways that you can improve your ball python setup. If you're new here, hi, hello, my name is Zoe. Most people know me as 𝘎𝙪𝙨𝙨, and this is my ball python, Mojito. So I find ball pythons to be one of those reptiles that everybody has, but they're one of the most commonly, I don't want to say miskept ones, but most misunderstood when it comes to their behaviors and what we should actually be providing for them. For years, we've heard those myths about how ball pythons live in termite mounds and they like tiny dark places to hide and that's all they really need. And that's all just simply not true. But before we get too far, I do want to show you guys my new shirt. I'm very, very excited about it. If you don't know, I do own a shop for reptile keepers and enthusiasts where I sell reptile gifts, goodies, artwork, decor, apparel, you name it. All reptile and amphibian themed. And I'm currently wearing one of my newest shirts that is going into the shop, and this is a vision that I had and I'm so happy I was able to bring it to life. I obviously had to make one for myself, hence why I'm wearing it, and I'm just so excited about it. All of my shirts tend to have more of a feminine touch to them because the shop name is 𝘎𝙪𝙨𝙞𝙪𝙞, and it started off as being geared towards reptile moms, and it has since evolved and just includes all reptile keepers, but it did start off focused on reptile moms. So I really wanted to bring in kind of a more like edgy t-shirt design, something different from what I've done before. So I'm very excited to show you guys this shirt. It says "Real men don't kill snakes," and more of like a stencil type of design, and it's a bleached shirt. So it's a black shirt and I bleached it so it had more of like an edgy kind of color and look to go with the stencil, harsh, more edgy design. So those shirts are available for pre-order if you would like them. Shop link is down below in the description. So let's get into 5 ways you can improve your ball python setup super easily. Number 1 on the list is to provide a sky hide. Now this is something that I have recently experimented with my bigger ball python Kahlua, and it's been awesome. So a lot of people just use your typical black plastic reptile hide and attach it to the ceiling of the enclosure. Because my enclosures are more of a naturalistic style, I took a giant cork round and attached it up towards the top of his enclosure when I customized his background. And he does use it, he curls up inside of it, and it's just super cool to see a ball python using a hide up off the ground, proving that they do like to climb. Which leads me into number 2, and that's providing climbing opportunities, whether that's filling an enclosure with driftwood and sticks that you can collect from outside or buy online, which gives them things to climb on and explore, or using things like fake rocks that you can get from custom reptile habitats to attach to the background of your enclosure to give them something to climb. But in the wild, ball pythons, especially males, have been found to have birds in their digestive system, implying that they are climbing to some heights to get prey. Whether that's climbing a tree or climbing a bush, they are having to climb at least somewhat in the wild. It's good exercise for them. Reptile obesity is a big problem in the pet trade, so providing that exercise for them and opportunities to possibly explore whatever natural behaviors they want, that's what we're going for. Number 3, this is more of an aesthetic one, but it's good enrichment also, and that is providing cork rounds. So I'd already mentioned cork rounds for a sky hide, but I also really like to use cork rounds just for hides in general, because again, that goes back to me wanting my enclosures to look naturalistic. Nothing supernatural about a black plastic hide. So I like using cork rounds and cutting them in half. That way I can easily lift up the cork round and still be able to get to my animal. You can get them in all sorts of sizes, lengths, so they can also be a good climbing opportunity as well as providing somewhere to hide that still looks aesthetically pleasing. Our next one is kind of another naturalistic trick, and this is one of my absolutely favorite ways to spruce up an enclosure and take it to the next level, and that is by using leaf litter. Leaf litter is such a simple way to make your enclosures look like they're on another level. Because sure, you can have moss and dirt, but you can have moss and dirt with a layer of leaf litter on top, and suddenly it looks like you've been transported to the forest. It also gives them something to feel like they're hiding under and slithering through to provide extra coverage. Because if there's one thing we know about ball pythons is they tend to be shy. So anything that provides some extra coverage for them is going to make them much happier. And our fifth and final one is using overhead lighting. That means heat and UVB. A lot of people think that because their ball pythons aren't out during the day, that they don't need to provide UVB. Now, even crepuscular and nocturnal animals are still getting exposed to low levels of UVB in the wild. You don't need to supply them with what you would give to, say, a bearded dragon or a green iguana, but even just low levels of UVB is going to improve their health so much compared to if they didn't have it. And why wouldn't you want to do that? So in the wild, we call this cryptic basking. And what that means is that even when they're hiding, they're sleeping, they're laying in wait for prey, even if they're mostly hidden, some part of their body is still going to be exposed to the sun, meaning that they're still going to get some UVB exposure, especially if they're out at dawn or dusk, because that sun is still up. It's just providing very low levels of UVB. And as for overhead heating, I really like overhead heating in the form of halogens because it's the most naturalistic form of overhead heating we can supply in captivity. It provides physical light, and if you think about in the wild, where's the heat coming from? It's coming from the sky, it's coming from above. So it's just more natural to have that heat coming from above. So those are just 5 ways that you can very easily spruce up your ball python enclosure and take your husbandry to that next level. Because we're all about learning and sharing tips here, if you have any more tips for very easily improving a ball python enclosure, feel free to leave them in the comments below so other people can learn from you as well. I have several videos like this planned, but if you have any animals in particular that you would like to see this style video for, let me know in the comments and I will add them to the list. As always, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you for the next video. Bye!